I wanted to mention something that's not often thought of in terms of our perception. There's something called, oh gosh, hydrodynamic perception. Um, and it is something that fish have and amphibians have, and it is a sense of vorticity. So it senses low vibrations and it senses water currents, vortices and water currents. And that vorticity helps fish and other aquatic animals navigate upstream, downstream, through the water. And why I mention that is I believe that we also have hydrodynamic perception. We also have a sense of vorticity, and that it's connected to our ability to feel the flow around us and to go with the flow, but not in the usual sense, because for a fish, its sense of vorticity actually allows it to stay in a current, plus the shape of its body, but the sense of vorticity allows it to stay in a current of water without using um, energy uh, to to swim against the current, or rather to use very, very little energy to swim against the current, as well as to find places of stillness. And how I'm kind of merging this idea with our perception is, um, as Sri Aurobindo talks about, our psychic sense, our psychic being. We have we have our body's perception, we have our emotional perception, we have our mental perception. So we have many ways of experiencing what's going on around us. And then he describes that we have, as almost a completely separate category, psychic perception. And that psychic perception, I think, is an aspect of really being able to find stability, really being able to find uh, safety and congruence in our environment with the people around us and within our relationships. And so it kind of stands to reason that when we are trying to get in touch with our path going forward and becoming more conscious or manifesting or these kinds of things, that we get in touch with the vortical sense of our body, um, and then we sit in that aura, sit in that sense of flow, that sense of vorticity, and that we share our connection with others from that sense of vorticity. And within the psychic being, it feels like there's a deeper sense of like happiness, stillness, relief, connection. Like really all of the best things in life seem to come through what the psychic being within us has to offer. And it certainly helps to enhance our navigation of our reality and how we face the people around us. Another feeling is, how do we create a strong sense of self to where we know who we are, and to where we can sit in that knowingness of who we are and allow that to be a part of our decision making process. Um, I'm not entirely certain yet. I'm not somebody that uh, reigns from their sense of identity, and so it doesn't really fit me or suit me in the way that I feel it might suit others. But uh, certainly the sense of vorticity and the sense of being fully held in my own psychic being from myself, and then being able to fully meet others in that and from that place, I think is probably one of the largest benefits to our humanity. And so being able to speak about it may be probably the most important thing, not just like, oh, I get this good feeling from this person, but being able to share that knowing of that good feeling from that person with that person as it's happening, that they may either corroborate or that they may um, be with you in it, and not just as like a measure of chemistry or attraction or all these different other things, but as a measure of actual mm, not necessarily even psychic resonance, but just uh, full presence, full authenticity, um, and full contentment. And I feel like a lot of times that's missing in our human dialogue, either because we're in a place of being trauma bonded with someone, or we may not know anything but trauma bonds with the people around us. And so kind of being able to have a little bit of um, an extra few words to highlight our connection, not from a fear and pleasure and um, like, are you bringing me happiness or not? But from a place of completeness, from a place of wholeness. Um, I feel like it would do a lot to both enhance our discernment, like, but also help us to not need quite as many labels, um, especially in the negative direction, for how we experience other people's behavior, and also help us to um, expand our not forgiveness, to expand our prudence with one another. And so I don't know. These are just some thoughts that I'm kind of capturing for the day. It's kind of all over the place because it's a merging of a lot of different subjects, but um, it's just about finding what right human relationship feels like. And even if someone is, deep in their own security, being able to find ways to feel and communicate that is very helpful. And so this is one aspect of trying to help communicate that. So yeah, there's Sri Aurobindo's work, and Aurobindo, and his description of the psychic heart and the psychic being, um, and also hydrodynamic perception, or uh, the sense of vorticity. Um, because one aspect of our being is what is the sense of rising, what is the sense of going forward, and really, like, what is the shape of our aura that we can have it correctly oriented to the larger reality so that we can navigate most serenely, most safely, most calmly, um, most encouragingly, with as much understanding as possible. And so I think, if nothing else, this is kind of just a discussion of how, as much as we know, we can always find better ways to describe it for understanding each other and understanding ourselves, rather than getting so attached to the information. Not that details are irrelevant, but so that we can kind of find find the new path out from all of the different mental traps that we seem to have gotten ourselves into as a society, and um, and ways to support each other as we step into our power and into the way that we want to be, um, the way we want to conduct ourselves in the world. Thank you.